The Ragnarok began with the death of Balder, Odin and Frigg's beloved son. Balder, usually protected from harm by his mother's magic, met his end when Loki exploited a weakness, a dart made from mistletoe. Balder's blind brother, Hoder, unknowingly, threw this fatal dart, sealing Balder's tragic fate. In retribution, the gods punished Loki severely. They bound him to a rock where venomous serpents dripped poison on him, causing agonizing pain that shook the world with earthquakes. Loki's wife Sigyn tried to help by catching the venom in a bowl, but whenever she had to empty it, Loki's suffering intensified. Odin's son Vali sought vengeance for Balder by slaying Hoder, who then joined his brother in Helheim, the realm of the dead. The beginning of Ragnarok was marked by roosters crowing, warning the 9 realms. The golden rooster in Asgard woke Odin's warriors. The dun rooster roused the spirits of Helheim, and the red rooster Fjalar called in Jotunheim, the land of giants. Meanwhile, the fierce hellhound Garm bellowed at the gates of Helheim. The sons of the wolf Fenris brought about a never-ending winter. Skuld devoured the sun, while Hati consumed the moon, staining the skies red. Stars will fade from sight, and darkness will shroud the world like ashes or mist. This will be the dreadful Fimbulwinter, an endless time of bitter snow, biting winds, and a bone-chilling cold that will make breathing painful and freeze tears in your eyes. No relief will come with spring, summer, or autumn, only winter, one after another. Following this, massive earthquakes will ravage the land. Mountains will crumble, trees will fall, and any remaining habitations will be destroyed. People will suffer from hunger, cold, and anger. Huge battles will erupt worldwide. Brothers will fight brothers, fathers will harm their sons, and families will turn on each other. It will be a time of harsh winds, where people act like wolves, preying on one another, behaving no better than wild animals. Twilight will descend, cities will crumble into ruins, burning briefly before collapsing into ash and ruin. The earthquakes will be so intense that all chains and restraints will break apart, releasing everything held captive. Fenris and Loki, both once imprisoned by the gods, broke free, preparing for battle. In the sea, the serpent Jörmungandr thrashed, trying to reach land, causing massive waves. The trembling of the world will signal the gathering of a formidable army of giants and monsters, ready to rise against the gods. A protective barrier that has kept the first giants confined in Muspelheim, the realm of fire, since the dawn of creation will begin to crack. This will free the mighty fire giant Surtr, who has been patiently waiting at the entrance, ready to unleash his forces. With his blazing sword, he will ignite much of the world. Meanwhile, Loki will journey to Helheim to reunite with his daughter Hel. The earthquakes will have released the ship Naglfar, constructed from the nails of the deceased. Together with Hel, her fearsome guard dog Garm, and an army of the dishonored dead, Loki will set sail toward Asgard. In the waters surrounding Midgard, Jörmungandr, the Midgard Serpent, will feel restless and emerge, causing massive tidal waves with his enormous form. He will also unleash toxic venom upon the land and sky. Fenrir, the great wolf, will rampage across the world, consuming everything in his path. The ship, Naglfar, crafted from the fingernails of the dead, emerged ominously from the waves, helmed by the giant Hrym. In a dark alliance, Hel aided Loki by providing him with a second vessel, which carried Surtr and his fellow fire giants to the battlefield. These dark forces will converge on Asgard, gathering for battle on the plains of Vigrid. Heimdall, the watchful sentinel of Asgard, will blow his horn to announce the approach of the giants. Odin will descend to the Well of Wisdom in Niflheim to seek counsel from his wise friend Mimir. He will then rally his army of brave warriors from Valhalla. Balder and Hoder will be released from Helheim to join the gods in their fight. The gods resolve to engage in battle, fully aware of the prophecies that foretell their grim fate. They equip themselves for the clash on the battlefield known as Vigrid, meaning plain where battle surges. In the epic saga, Odin leads the charge with a gleaming armor and a golden helmet, accompanied by Thor wielding his mighty hammer, Mjolnir. As they enter the battlefield, the final confrontation looms ahead. Odin advances towards Fenrir, the colossal wolf of unimaginable size, with his spear, Gungnir, firmly grasped in his hand. Meanwhile, Thor, noticing Odin's target, he speeds towards the Midgard Serpent, ready to engage it with his iron-clad gauntlet and hammer. Frey confronts Surtr, the fiery and monstrous being wielding a massive burning sword. Despite Frey's valiant efforts, he falls first among the Aesir, outmatched by the relentless flames of Surtr's sword. In his final moments, Frey regrets losing the sword he once gifted for love, a sword that could have been his salvation, the D. Battlefield echoes with the clamor of battle as Odin's noble warriors, the Einherjar, clash fiercely with the undead forces led by Loki. The fearsome hellhound Garm, though smaller than Fenrir, poses a grave threat, breaking free to wreak havoc among the warriors. Tyr, the one-handed god, bravely faces Garm in a desperate struggle, culminating in a fatal confrontation where both meet their end, locked in a deadly embrace. Thor fulfills his long-awaited destiny by vanquishing the Midgard Serpent, crushing its skull with a powerful blow from his hammer. However, in a tragic turn as the serpent falls lifeless, it unleashes a final act of vengeance, spraying Thor with its deadly venom, ultimately leading to the demise of the Thunder God. In the ultimate showdown, Odin faces the massive and formidable Fenrir, a wolf of unimaginable size, surpassing even the sun and the moon in magnitude. Despite Odin's courage and skill, Fenrir swiftly devours him, extinguishing the presence of the great All-Father forever. Witnessing his father's fall, Vidar, the dependable and silent god, steps forward with resolve. As Fenrir revels in Odin's demise, Vidar takes action, thrusting his foot into the wolf's lower jaw. Vidar's unique footwear, crafted from discarded leather scraps accumulated over time, proves to be the key in subduing Fenrir. By leveraging this makeshift shoe, Vidar immobilizes the wolf's lower jaw, rendering it powerless to harm. With a decisive move, Vidar seizes Fenrir's upper jaw, tearing the beast's mouth asunder and avenging his father's death in a final act of retribution. On the battleground known as Vigrid, a catastrophic clash unfolds between the gods and the frost giants, each faction meeting its end in a cataclysmic struggle. The undead forces from Hell meet their final demise alongside the noble Einherjar warriors, all falling for the last time on the frozen ground under the lifeless, misty sky, destined never to rise again and engage in battle. Amidst the chaos of battle, Loki and Heimdall stand on the desolate field of Vigrid. Loki, bloodied and fierce, faces Heimdall, the stalwart guardian of the gods with a sword wet with blood in hand. As they approach each other, Loki provokes Heimdall with taunts, relishing in the god's downfall. However, Heimdall remains composed, unmoved by Loki's words, and launches into a fierce combat, their swords clashing in a brutal struggle. Memories of their past conflicts resurface as they fight, including their ancient rivalry over the Brising's necklace. The battle escalates, each blow bringing them closer to their inevitable end until both warriors fall, gravely wounded on the blood-soaked ground. In his final moments, Loki claims victory in the face of destruction, but Heimdall, with a defiant smile, imparts a profound truth about survival and renewal amid devastation. As Loki fades away, silenced in death, Heimdall's unwavering gaze symbolizes the eternal cycle of life and death, heralding the dawn of a new era amidst the ruins of the old world. Surtr, the ancient burning giant, raises his fiery sword towards the heavens, signaling the beginning of the end. A deafening roar, akin to forests ablaze, fills the air as the world ignites in Surtr's flames. The oceans evaporate into steam as the final fires rage and then fade, leaving a snowfall of black ash from the sky. In the dusk where Loki and Heimdall once lay side by side, only grey ash heaps remain on the scorched earth, the smoke blending with the morning mist. All traces of the living and the dead, the gods' aspirations and the valor of their warriors, dissolve into ash, a somber testament to the annihilation that has befallen them. Subsequently, the swelling ocean engulfs the ashes, sweeping across the land, erasing all remnants of life under the sunless sky. Thus concludes the world's fate, consumed by ash and flood, enveloped in darkness and ice, a poignant depiction of the gods' ultimate destiny. However, from this abyss the earth rises anew, and the surviving Aesir gods gather at the field of Idavöllr. to begin the monumental task of rebuilding. Among the survivors are Magni and Modi, Thor's sons, who inherit their father's mighty hammer. Their presence is significant, symbolizing the continuation of their father's legacy. They are joined by Vidar, Odin's son, who avenged his father by slaying Fenrir. Late to the battle due to their entrapment in Helheim, Balder and Hoder return to join the living gods in the restoration effort. Another survivor is Honir, a lesser-known Aesir god associated with the creation of mankind, who now casts divination shards to guide their efforts. Njord, a god of the Vanir, also emerges from the devastation, alongside the daughter of Sul, the sun goddess who steps into her mother's role. Amidst the ruins, two human survivors, Lif and Lifthrasir, whose names mean life and striving for life, remain hidden in a forest called Hodmimis Holt. They are destined to become a new Adam and Eve, tasked with repopulating the world and ensuring the continuation of Norse humanity. Together they represent hope and renewal in the wake of destruction. The new Norse world will closely resemble the old one, with the surviving gods settling in Idavoll, which remains untouched by destruction. Here they will recreate Asgard's splendor, highlighted by Gimli, a magnificent hall with a golden roof. In contrast, a new Helheim named Nastrond, or Shore of Corpses, will feature doors facing north, welcoming cold winds. Its walls are made of writhing snakes that pour venom into a river running through the realm. Within Nastrond, the dragon Nidhogger awaits to feast on the souls of thieves and murderers, encapsulating the balance of beauty and darkness in the new world. Balder's countenance brightens with a radiant smile akin to the emergence of the sun from behind clouds. With grace and purpose, he extends his hand, reaching down to make his initial move on the board. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Ahmed's World for more enthralling tales like this one.